Kimi is a new thriller on HBO Max directed by Steven Soderbergh. Going into it, all I knew was that Zoë Kravitz was in it and she has blue hair. I had no idea what this movie was about, which I think is the best way to go into this movie because there are a lot of big surprises and twists. The movie tells the story of a woman working in a tech company. Her job is to go through the recordings of these devices that the company produces, which are essentially Alexas, but they're called Kimis. And so what they do is they go in, find these recordings where the Kimi may have misinterpreted what someone was saying and correct it so that the algorithm gets better and they can better serve the customers, right? While she's working, she finds evidence of a crime committed, and as she goes deeper into trying to figure out how to resolve this issue, she unravels a big cover-up in her company, and it turns into this big chase where she's trying to get this evidence to the authorities before getting caught. Again, I don't want to give away too much of this movie because a lot of it comes from the surprise and the shock value of the things that are happening as the story unfolds. But what I can say is Zoë Kravitz gives an amazing performance here as this girl who you see has some past trauma that she's dealing with that affects how she's approaching this whole situation. She doesn't want to go outside at all. They do address actually the pandemic and lockdown, but I think they do it in a very natural way that doesn't feel super forced. It feels like it fits in the context of this story and this character. But you're seeing her slowly get out of that mindset because she wants to help this person that's potentially in danger. I also like how this movie addresses how her fear of going outside affects both her personal life, her professional life, and all the different issues that come up that she can't solve because a lot of them involve going outside until she learns about this potential crime. Then she has the drive, the motivation to go outside and face her fear. I will say trigger warning because there is a very specific event that happens in this movie that is a very important topic. I don't want to say it because, again, it was part of the shock of watching this movie, but the way they handled that, I think, was done really well. As a suspense movie, this was a roller coaster. I was on the edge of my seat. The first act was a little slower, but that was just because they're developing Angela, Zoë Kravitz's character, which I think was necessary for the rest of the movie. But once things start going and you unravel more about what this crime was, it goes 0 to 100. You're on the edge of your seat. I was fearing for this woman's life because you see all the stuff she's going through, and the levels to which this cover-up is going is insane. Another thing that makes this kind of scary is you seeing how the antagonists of the movie are using technology to keep track of where Angela's going, what she's doing, and it makes you really think, like, in real life, people could probably actually do this. Seeing all the different ways they are able to track her phone, track her history, things she's looked up, where she's going, like, that part in itself was really scary because people could do that now with the age of smartphones. At all times, unless you completely opt out of it, there's an app or something tracking what you're searching, where you're going, all that stuff. And so the fact that they use that in this movie as a way to track this girl down and stop her from unraveling this big cover-up is really scary, and I think that makes it way more effective as a thriller and suspense movie. I do like also in the third act, again, without getting into spoilers, it does start to turn into like a home invasion thriller, kind of like Home Alone, but again, more rated R because it's a rated R movie. Towards the third act, there are these goons that show up that are working for the antagonist, and I will say they're a little more cartoony, but I also didn't mind it because, again, this movie had me on edge. The story was really good. Seeing Angela unravel this mystery, I think, was the most engaging part of this movie. And seeing why it's so important to her, because, again, there's past trauma she's dealing with. They do explain how that connects to her, but they also don't do it like they're telling you everything. You do pick up on some of it through context clues, and then later there is a moment where she does flat out say, "This happened to me." And then it all clicks, like, okay, that's why she's fighting so hard to help this person, because she knows what it's like. So I really, really enjoyed this movie. It had me on the edge of my seat. The suspense was crazy. There were some good action moments. There were a few laughs here and there. Like I said, there's some cartoony characters, but there are also some fun characters that are supporting. I will say also the supporting characters don't get as much to do in this movie, besides the goons and the antagonist. But that being said, I still think this is a solid thriller, 100% worth your time. If you're looking for something to watch on HBO Max, stream this movie. If you have seen Kimi, let me know what you thought of it down in the comments. Also, don't forget to like this video, share it, and subscribe. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.